Hello. So today's training is called the 4 zones of body fat, finding your sweet spot. Well, the central goal here is figuring out like how much weight do you guys need to lose to get exactly where you want to get to, give you real clarity on that. And you might not really know where you want to get to, what that looks like. So this will help you answer that question for yourself as well. And then identify, how far off are we from that? And then once we have clarity on where we're going and how long it's going to take, we can just crack on and get it done. So basically, the way that we're going to quantify this is with body fat, as it's quite an easy thing to understand. And there's 4 zones of body fat that I have created or organized, if you will. And the zone 1 is obviously the leanest. Obviously, you can go lean in this, and I'll explain what that looks like as well. But for our purposes, we're going to stick to these 4 zones. Zone 1, 12 to 14%, zone 2, 15 to 18%, zone 3, 19 to 25%, and zone 4, 25% plus. So starting at zone 4, basically this is the area that we want to avoid for long-term health. And obviously health is the most important thing above nothing, because if we don't have that, we're not around anymore, right? So this is what happens above 25%. There is a sharp increase in your risks of serious illness. So insulin resistance, leading to diabetes, increased visceral fat, chronic inflammation, which wreaks havoc with you. Your testosterone would be low, estrogen would be lower. So, so many negatives to that. I'll be here all day explaining. Blood pressure, cholesterol is up, heart disease risk, stroke risk is all up. Risk of cancer is up, and generally, if you are in this range, your energy won't be as good, your sleep won't be as good, or mobility, strength, frequent illness, slow recovery. So, not a good place to be, basically. So, basically, if we're in this zone above 25%, our first goal is to get out of it. Basically, if we can get sub 25%, we are dramatically lowering our health risks of various illnesses. And by the way, body fat percentage isn't everything, right? So you could have someone who is 12% body fat, boozing all the time, abusing drugs, not eating decent food, not training, and they are going to be in a far less healthy place than someone who is, let's say, in the mid-20s or even 25% who lives a really healthy lifestyle. They're just carrying too much body fat. But still, if we remove everything else, body fat percentage is really well linked to these issues. So everyone, the goal should be sub 25% body fat for a longer and a healthier and happier life, basically, which we're all capable of achieving, no doubt. Okay, zone 2 is what I call the comfort trap. Okay, it's comfortable because you're in this zone of 19% to 25%. So the alarm bells are dramatically lower at this point. You're not going to be at risk, and your doctor's not going to be, complaining to you about the weight you're carrying, because you probably just look average, in clothing, and your health isn't going to be dramatically impacted. But your visceral fat is still significant at this level. You're still going to have a belly. Your insulin sensitivity is not going to be that good. How well you handle sugars. Your hormones will be okay, but certainly not optimal. For example, if you're someone who are trying to conceive, then you definitely want to be out of this range. And many other areas of your hormonal health would be affected as well. Your recovery and your energy is not going to be your best. And let's say things take a bad turn for you. You have a bad couple of months, something happens in your life and you gain some weight. Well, then you're in zone 4 pretty quickly, right? So you're not too far away from serious health risks. So this is where a lot of people live. This is where the average person lives. But it's not where you want to be either. We don't want to be accepting average. We want to be better. We want to be in zone 2. So 15 to 18% body fat. At this point, you have a very low disease risk. Your hormones are going to be good. Your energy is going to be good. Your fitness is going to be good. Your sleep's going to be good. And it's something that is sustainable year round, right? And also you'll be looking better at this point. 18% body fat, you have the start of some ab definition. You're probably liking what you see in the mirror a lot. And you'd be feeling and looking a lot better at this point. And I think really, this is probably where everyone should aim to be. So yeah, goal number 2 for everyone is get into this range, because yeah, your health is in a really good place. You know, you're going to be living a longer and healthier and happier life, and you're going to be liking what you see a lot more and performing a lot better day to day. But there is another level you can get to beyond that. It's not necessary, but if you want the best, if you want your testosterone and your growth hormone and, you know, your hormone profile to be the best possible, if you want to have the best insulin sensitivity, the best cardiovascular markers, the best recovery between workouts, you want to have a lean and athletic look that many people are going to aspire to. Your energy is going to be really good. Your sleep's going to be really good. Your mental focus is going to be the highest it can possibly be, with everything else accounted for. Then this is the range that you want to aim for. Basically, 12 to 14% body fat. It's a good place to be. Basically, it might not be achievable, or I think it is achievable for anyone. Forget that actually, but a lot of people think there's no way I could get to that. But if you're watching this, you can. Okay, don't put doubts, don't put limits on yourself. You can achieve this. It's just going to take time. It's going to take some patience to get there. All right. Or the zone 0 as well. That's anything below 12% body fat. You know, most people, when they get very lean, 8 to 12% body fat is the range they get to. Some people have been known to go lower than that, but you're looking at like contest ready bodybuilders who have got no fat on them whatsoever. And the reason I'm not including this as a zone is because there's no actual benefit to going to this level. Like you're actually, there'll be health negatives to going sub 12% body fat. Not for everyone. Some people naturally are more like this if you are a naturally skinny guy, but your sleep, your recovery, your strength, your hormones will actually be in a worse place in this. So the only real benefit to doing this is that you look pretty amazing. And then once you do achieve this kind of look once, it's far easier for you to maintain zone 1. 12 to 14% is going to be an easier target because you've been lower. You've kind of cracked that next level, but it's not necessary. And that's why I put the orange traffic light here. So goal 3 for some, if you want to, it's not necessary for anyone really, but achieving body fat, 10% body fat once will make it easier for you to maintain that. And by the way, if you're interested in doing this, I think a photo shoot is a really good way of like dialing in that motivation to achieve this at a certain date. So I'd recommend that. Speak to me about that if you want to do that. So this kind of this chart really explains this whole thing pretty well, I believe. So on the bottom we have body fat percentage, right? So the leaner you are, the lower you are on the left hand side, the fatter you are on the right hand side. And then this is just a measure of health markers. So for example, you have insulin sensitivity, right? So it's your body's ability to manage your sugars, manage your energy, and is linked to so many health concerns when you're not very insulin sensitive. Testosterone is the orange one, massively important for many aspects of health as well, and your risk of death, inverse mortality risk, and the optimum zone, as we've already said, for all of these things is here, which, as we said, is 12 to 14% body fat. Okay, so if you get there, health markers is where it should be, and you're going to be looking really good as well. But we can see as we get heavy, we get less, as we get fatter, if you will, these things start to slide. They get lower. Okay, nothing real dramatic, and then something happens around 25% body fat, whereby things just plummet. Things just get a lot worse. Your risk of serious complications goes way up. And by the way, when I say serious complications, you're not going to drop down dead tomorrow or anything like that. But if you consistently put your body through this over time, those risks are definitely there, especially as you get older. So this is why 25% body fat is the cutoff, is where everyone I want in the program to be below this level. And we can get there, all right? If you have any doubts, we definitely can. So hopefully that explains it pretty well. And obviously as we get heavier and heavier, the risks get higher and higher. One little, I guess, way to explain all this as well is to like, well, what would be your lifespan? Let's say you spent your life in these different zones. How long could you be expecting to live? And by the way, just living longer is pointless, right? If you feel like shit when you're old, there's be no point. So this isn't just lifespan; it's also how you're going to feel. Imagine if you're at 14% body fat in your 70s and you're still training, the only thing that's really going to probably go as maybe your mind, right? And even that is probably going to be protected very well. So it's about quality and quantity of life. And these are the typical behaviors that we need to maintain these things on average. All right. So zone 1, you know, the best possible outcome, you're going to be living, of course, like this is just averages. Some people will live longer, some people live less. Genetics play a huge role here as well. 85 to 88 years, a really long and healthy and happy life. You'd be walking 10K steps a day, training a couple of times a week. You'd be in a really good diet. You'd be looking after your sleep, not drinking too much, and looking after your health overall. And then things just get a little bit worse the leaner or the fatter we get. So 83 to 86 for zone 2, and then zone 3, 78 to 82, and then zone 4, 72 to 76. All right. And at that point, you know, at that level, you're probably walking not very much. You're not training very much. You'd be consuming a lot of processed food, not sleeping very well, frequent alcohol, and you'd have worse health markers as well. And you might think, oh, that's not actually that bad, 72 to 76. But, you know, if this is your reality, those last 10 years of your life are going to be not very fun. You know, we all have relatives who don't look after themselves, and we see what they're like and the pain that they go through and how much fun it is not for them. So yeah, it's not just about length. It's about the quality of life that you want to leave as you get older. So here's your task. I want you to calculate your body fat using a calculator that I've built, and then pick the zone that you want to get to, right? Whether it's just like, I wanted to reduce my risks of serious illness, or you want to be absolutely shredded, 10% body fat, or you just want to get to this healthy optimal range around 12 to 18% and just maintain that. And I built a calculator that will take us through it. So let me just show you what that looks like. This has been built by me with ChatGPT. I'm absolutely astounded at what it's possible for. You normally need like some real coding experience to make something like this. So yeah, anyway, side point there. So let's put in my stats at the minute. So 190 centimeters, I'm quite tall. I did this earlier, 39 centimeters neck, and then my weight is about 90 at the minute. My weight is 98 kilos right now. Oh, and target body fat, I forgot that. So let's say I want to get into that healthy optimal. I want to get to, let's say, the middle of that would be about 13%. So here's my results. At the minute, my body fat percentage, according to this calculator, which is pretty accurate, by the way, I would say it's more accurate than the body fat measuring scales you have in your house, is 17.6% body fat, which is pretty bang on. If I want to hit 13% body fat, I need to get to around, let's call it 93 kilos. I need to lose about 5 kilos to get to that level. So it gives you exactly how much weight you need to lose to get to where you want to get to. And by the way, this doesn't account for muscle loss or growth. You should all the guys in the program be gaining small amounts of muscle as we go through this. So expect the weight to be slightly higher than this, right? So, but for simplicity's sake, just stick to this, but expect the weight loss to be a bit slower because we're adding muscle on the way down. Okay. Unless you're not training or not eating your protein or not sleeping, then it probably isn't going to go up. Okay. So, but if you're following the program, it will. So yeah, what I want you guys to do is to do this. So I'm going to give you this link, and I want you to share in the group, what your target body fat percentage is and how much weight you have got to get there. If you don't want to share in the group, fine. You can message me privately, but everyone else, share in the group and let's do it. Let's see where you guys want to go. I'm interested to know what's the ultimate goal for you. And hopefully this gives you some clarity. If you end up getting like a big weight target that you're like, how the fuck am I going to do that? You can get there. All right. It's just a case of patience, right? It's just a case of accepting it's a long road. It's not a 6-week fix or a 12-week fix. It's going to take longer than that if we have 10, 20, 30 kilos to lose. All right. Cheers, guys. Hope you enjoyed this.